What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of the CubCast, our news section that we are running whenever we see new news surrounding international music and general music. We're going to get into the discussion about it. Now, this is something that I'm very much looking forward to doing. I love kind of reporting on the latest news. Again, it's what I do for a day job over on Trickstar Radio. A lot of the time, we present news articles and break down what the facts are, and that's exactly what we're going to be getting into today. A massive shout out to everyone who liked the previous video on this style. We posted a video up yesterday about CK becoming the most viewed artist in Africa over the course of the last 12 months with 1.4 billion YouTube views. Do go check that video out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. However, today we are talking about Boomplay, which is obviously an African-owned and run streaming service, which obviously focuses in on numerous different styles of music, but obviously being based in Africa, they're more likely to have an ear to the ground on what is going on. It's a really interesting thing to look at. I wasn't actually aware of Boomplay a couple of years ago. I've seen it mentioned a couple of times, but I wasn't really too in the know about what was going on with it as a platform. However, this week they posted, well, I say this week, literally earlier on today, they posted some stats that I found very interesting indeed. They actually posted up the 3 most streamed albums in Ghana. Now, when we look at what Boomplay is and what it represents, we know for a fact that they have local operations in the ground in Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and Tanzania. Yes, I do have notes in front of me. I want to make sure we're getting this all correct. Which, if you follow this channel, you'll know in regards to those countries in particular is where a lot of the music we actually react to comes from, which is what makes this very interesting indeed. This is, to an extent, the on-the-ground platform for the genres we're reacting to. So realistically, we need to be paying attention to what they are doing and what they are saying. Now, looking through this very interesting list we have here, we're looking for a number of different sets of streaming information in regards to stats for the most played Ghanaian albums on Boomplay for last year. Very interesting stuff indeed. In third place, we see Stonebwoys with Anloga Junction. Stonebwoys Anloga Junction with 5.8 million streams. Fantastic stuff. Again, when we say 5.8 million streams, that might not seem like the craziest amount for an album across the course of an entire year. But realistically, this is a platform that doesn't have the kind of global reach that Spotify will do. Maybe someday it will, but for the time being, it is a lot smaller. So take that into account and understand that 5.8 million views is a lot of streams. It's a lot, let's be real. In second on the list, we saw that Kiddy placed there with The Golden Boy. That's 5.8 million streams roughly as well. I don't know if there's an error on the graphic they posted, although both of Stonebwoy and Kiddy's numbers were exactly the same. I'm assuming they're relatively similar, and that's why they've been posted up together. But in first place, in a clear first place as well, we saw Sarkodie with No Pressure. His album hit 7.8 million streams last year. And again, this is a phenomenal amount of streams for a network which is operating amongst such big players, the likes of obviously Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. There are so many different ways for people to be listening to music, even platforms such as AudioMac as well. So these are really impressive stats we're seeing from especially the Ghanaian albums in particular. But what I really wanted to dive into with this sort of news section today is actually dive into more how this compares to Spotify's numbers. Now, I've got the top 5 Spotify numbers here as well for the top 5 albums released, and we're going to get into those next. Again, I find this very, very interesting when we look at it. J Bad in 5th place with the return of Akomfo and Yoke with 1.5 mil. We also see in 4th place Small God with Building Bridges. Very, very exciting stuff. 3 million views there. In 3rd place, we actually see Sarkodie with No Pressure, which has significantly less views on Spotify than it does on Boomplay, which is kind of the point I want to get into here. As we move forward, you'll see there's a very exciting number at the top of this list. Yortog in 2nd with Time on 6 million album streams. Again, this is higher than both 2nd and 1st place on Boomplay. And then we obviously get into the major surprise on this, which is 1st place with Kiddy, the Golden Boy, sitting on 36 million streams. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When you compare the amount of streams that Kiddy is getting on Boomplay to the amount of streams he's getting on Spotify, there's obviously a vast difference. When we see the amount of streams that Sarkodie's getting in regards to the album streams and on Boomplay and on Spotify, again, you can see there's a massive difference in the amount that people are streaming. It's an interesting one, and what it brings up the conversation with is how can we compare Boomplay to other platforms? Well, there's one thing that we've seen which is very interesting indeed, that the Billboard chart recently announced, we're going back to October 2021, so still moderately recently, only a few months ago, that data from Boomplay streams would actually be added to the chart data used in collating the Billboard Top 100. Now, this is Really, really interesting stuff. Also, the Billboard Top 200 and other Billboard data-driven charts. So it's not as if we're looking at Boomplay as something that isn't being included in this list. It's a newer streaming service, obviously operating on the ground in those 4 countries I mentioned earlier: Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and Tanzania. And it does mean we are now in a position where we kind of have to look at the different stats individually. We have to look at them and go, well, this person's getting this many numbers here, this many numbers here, this many numbers here. Some people's sounds, I presume, will be more beneficial towards certain platforms. As we can see here, we see that Stonebwoy isn't even in the top 5 on Spotify, but is actually in 3rd on Boomplay. So it's interesting to kind of look at how the stats differentiate with this. And again, I wouldn't necessarily say that Boomplay is a specialist network. It's just a network that is likely to be more on the ground with what's going on. Again, when we look at the actual 4 places where their operations are running from, it's an interesting one to kind of break down. But there we go. It was just an interesting thing I saw on Twitter. I saw a set of stats, so I decided to do a bit of research and dive into who is buying records where. Obviously, yesterday we saw that CK had this incredibly high number of YouTube streams. It'd be interesting to see if we had the kind of YouTube figures to tie into this as well, because I think people almost forget that YouTube is almost the same as a valid streaming network. People do sit on YouTube and watch music. I sit on YouTube and watch music. I know a lot of people do, rather than streaming it directly off Spotify, because obviously it's free, for one. You can literally watch music videos for free on YouTube. That's one of the great things about it. But there we go. I hope you have enjoyed this quick breakdown as we look for a few different things surrounding obviously Afrobeat music and obviously African music in general across the entire continent. This is something that I really enjoy doing. As you follow the channel, if you follow the channel, you'll know that this is something that I'm very passionate about exploring and learning about more than anything else. So hopefully this kind of gives you guys a bit more information into what's going on with Boomplay, and it's definitely something I need to be keeping a closer eye on without a shadow of a doubt. But there we go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the left-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, of course, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. Just feel free to get involved in the channel in as many ways as you can. We are going to be putting out a lot more of these sort of news style topical videos. Obviously, we're posting a lot more, shall we say, DJ content as well. We do have a new series starting at the end of this week with Just Vibes as well, where we're going to be doing a tier list system, breaking down Adekunle Gold's most recent album project, which I'm very, very excited to get into. So do be aware, there's a lot of content on the way, and do remember to subscribe, because I want to make sure you guys aren't going to miss a single piece of it. It's all for you at the end of the day. We did recently hit 22,000 streams, so again, thank you to each and every one of you who is supporting the channel and helping us get on this journey. It's been so fun so far, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So there we go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, my friends, and we shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now, but they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCamTV. Stay locked.